One. Hey yo! Welcome back to another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III, and today we are starting something new, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first episode of the Next Up series. This is a series where I found artists in the city, or y'all tell me about artists in the city, or wherever young artists, new artists, fresh artists with a fresh new sound, and I put them on the podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I found one of them ones. My mama found him at T-Mobile. Working at T-Mobile, get my mama a phone. My mama told me, she called me on the phone. She was like, Eric, I think he can be like the next Uzi, the next Yachty. Like he can be like he's one of them. My mom ain't no slouch for talent, y'all. So immediately as she told me that, I went ahead, followed him on Instagram, listened to his music, and I think that he is next up. Give it up for Pop's an R&B singer, amazing, really talented artist. Give it up for Rockstar Johnny, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up.
I appreciate that, bro. Like for real, man. What's up, guys?
How are you doing today? First and foremost, how are you doing?
Pretty good, man. Had a slight photo shoot today, and everything was cool. New people, so it's a cool vibe.
That's dope, man. These next up, I literally just got this idea literally today to do these, and I was like, it's great to start with you, right? You're young. Your music is first of all, congratulations on 100K listens on Pretty Girls, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
That's huge. Artists aspire their whole careers to hit 100K, and you did it. So congratulations. And Pretty Girls just so happens to be like my favorite song of yours. I love Pretty Girls.
Man, thank you, man. For real.
But what made you start doing music? Like what kind of clicked for you?
All my life music has always been something I love. Been something that kind of just like it's always been a part of me. Like growing up, I used to play and make up songs on the bus, looking out the window, on the way to school.
Right.
And it's kind of just like I knew I had like a voice or whatever. You know what I mean? I ain't sing, but right. I like to sing type stuff. And since I started doing it, it's been like very like therapeutic.
So you say that music has been therapeutic. Elaborate on that. Like how? Like in what sense has it been therapeutic?
So basically, just like you say, Pretty Girls is not just a song that I went to the studio and recorded. I actually wrote based on the experience that I had type stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, dang, you know how you get out of relationships and you kind of just like, dang, I want it to work, but this is the reality of what happened.
Right. And you can definitely hear that, like the pain in what the words that you're saying, right? And that's in like all of your songs, right? I can tell that like all of your songs come from a real place and from a real and from real experiences, right? So is that what we're going to hear from you for forever? Like real places, real experiences, not no make
yeah, not no make believe type stuff. If it sounds make believe, I don't think it's ever going to sound make believe. It's either going to come from a real place, or if say I make a song about wanting to go to Paris just because I want to go to Paris, and like when you imagine wanting to go somewhere, you kind of just you're like very descriptive of what you think is going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like songs like that also, like kind of like you want to tap into. I feel like everyone has like the same imagination. For real, that's how you're able to connect. Where like you watch TV cartoons, and it's kind of just like boom, that came from somebody's imagination.
Right, man.
But it's never gonna be like cap, like I did this, I did that.
Right, that's good though, man. Just keeping it real. I feel like music is missing that. Like in some aspects, like the way music is probably going to be going for the next how 10 years maybe, feel like there's like a certain level of authenticity that that is missing, that I think that you have and that you can
Thank
bring.
you.
And again, like I said, my mama ain't no slouch for talent, right? So if she tell me somebody's dope, I know that they're dope. And Cowgirls is approaching 100K, right? Is approaching 100K.
Yeah, Cowgirl. That was I'm a free spirited type person, like in general type stuff.
Right.
I like to go out. I like to go out in the city. I like to go to like bars and clubs just to like boom, just to see and observe and have a good time, you know?
Right.
Life is about enjoying it. So like Cowgirl, I'm like, dang, you know? Like when you're out and you're kind of just like feeling yourself,
Right.
I need a real cowgirl, you
Mhm.
know?
Right. And that Cowgirl John like gave me a little Old Town Road type vibe. But it was
Yeah.
like, but something about it that just felt better. It's just something about it that just made you want to do a little bounce to it, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
is that like where you aim for your music? Cause like I know a lot of people aim for their songs to be like club bangers. I know a lot of people aim for their songs to be like real, just like deep thoughts and real internal things. Like where do you aim for your music to?
So basically, my vibe is like driving at night, like real chill and listen and everything, because like I'm a real chill vibe in general.
Right.
Cowgirl was like the way I wrote that was like real random. It almost didn't like it almost wasn't a song. It wouldn't have been a song if like I was just like with my cousin one night and I was just like playing beats and everything, just going through beats. And you know, I was just like playing around. He was like, oh shit, record that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, for real? So I cleaned it up. I cleaned up the freestyle and I was like, let me hear how this comes out. And I was like, I rock with it. I rock with it. Like I can see the vision.
Right. So take us back to like your very first song that you recorded, and tell us like after that song, did it kind of click for you like, oh man, I want to do this? Or well, wait, before even that, be honest with us. Was that first song you recorded, in your opinion, was it trash? Was it like compared to what you got now, was it trash?
No, like I can actually recite the words to my first song. It
Wow.
was like, now that the love is gone, my heart is feeling so numb. When I think about what we had, now there's no return.
Mm,
And I would like so when I made that song in the studio, like it was almost like my second time in the studio because I used to write poetry beforehand type
that's
stuff.
dope.
So like writing poetry kind of like opens up your mind type stuff where it's just like it's still therapeutic. So it converted to music, so it stayed that way. And like when I recorded that song, I was like, dang, I like this. I kept on like I was like, man, like I started going to the studio like every week, just like boom, I get paid, I go
Mhm.
to the studio. Like I didn't care. If I had to catch the bus, catch an Uber,
Right.
like boom, I'm going to the studio.
By any
Cause
means.
like, yeah.
Um, after you recorded that first song, right, and you kept going, was there any like thoughts in your head that was like, man, I need to quit my job, man. I just need to do this full time, man. Cause
Um, it was that wasn't really a thought because like honestly, I was just like I would tell the engineers would be like, you got something different type stuff, you know what I mean?
right.
I was like, thank you. And I was like, I'm doing this as a hobby though. That's how it started off. That's why I would tell them. I don't really want to take this serious, even though I love music type stuff.
Mhm.
Like I'm just focused on my spiritual, you know?
Right.
But the more I went to the studio, the more songs and the more progress I made, it's kind of just like, man, I want to go harder with this, you know? and it's not a fact that I wanted to quit my job. I'm just working towards like that, honestly.
Right. You keep using the word therapeutic, right?
Yeah.
And I want to ask the question: what, in your honest opinion, which one is more therapeutic to you? Writing poetry or in the studio making a song?
Uh, I don't make my songs in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I write my songs like I write my poetry.
Mm-hmm.
But the same way. Honestly, the way I wrote my poetry is to beats.
Uh,
And then I didn't use the beat to say it, recite it. So the way I write my songs is the same like process. I would play the beat over and over and over and just like boom, this sounds right. This like boom, it explains how I really feel the most accurate way. You know what I mean?
right.
And it's kind of just like, okay, boom, I rock with it. I gotta rock with it. So they're both the same, honestly. Like both my songs in the studio. I mean, my poetry and the way I write my songs.
Right. And how long have you been writing poetry?
Uh, so I haven't wrote it recently, but back in 2016 is where I started, and I was just
Man.
uh, I would get the dictionary and just like just read it, kind of like skim through it, and I was like, you know,
Right. So I have this question, right? Because I'm a music junkie. Like I'm fiending for new artists to listen to, fiending for new sounds, right? And in music, it's a trend of once you hear a sound that works, everybody's starting to use that sound. There's not really more like originality to
oh yeah.
to music, right? What can you bring? Like, what is your like? What are you bringing to music that's bringing back? Like, okay, this is the original sound.
All right, so I feel like I'm just myself type stuff. I say stuff that I like in like certain songs, like I honestly don't think about like trying to sound like anybody when I go into the studio.
Right.
Like the way I wrote Past Life, like I'm not tripping about the past life. I'm not tripping about no breadcrumbs, baby. I'm going full speed on the highway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like it's just stuff that comes to me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It gotta come from you, regardless of who they compare you to. Because you may have a similar tone to him or him or him, but people can feel like people can feel if you're yourself.
Right. And who is Rockstar Johnny?
Rockstar Johnny is a free spirited, genuine. I feel like I just love making music and I love inspiring people and inspiring myself, honestly.
Right. When it comes to making music, right? Do you have any like inspirations? Like anybody that really like inspires you to get up and work?
Anybody that inspires me to get up and work. I listen to a lot of pop music, honestly.
Okay.
Anybody that inspires me. Basically like how we're on here and how you told me you listen to my song, that inspires me. I'm like, dang. And like producers would send me beat packs, and I would be like, this took work to do, you know? And they believe in me.
Right.
So like I'm like, I gotta go hard. I can't just like boom. I gotta make something to this. I gotta think, you know? Like it has to like click.
Right. Well, my mom was telling me that you was working at T-Mobile. My thought, and I listened to your music, my first thought is, why is he working at a T-Mobile? Why isn't he signed? Why isn't he in some type of artist development camp? Why is he not like in New York, LA, Atlanta, like some major city doing this? Why is he still here? Do does that thought ever cross your mind as an artist, right? And hearing other artists work, do you ever think like, man, why are they there, but I'm here?
Honestly, the way I think and everything, because I do travel a lot. I just came back from Atlanta. I had an amazing trip. And like you know, that's kind of like the social media effect and the mentality that people that could rub off on you, seeing what other people are doing.
Right.
But I'm kind of like a person. What's meant for me is meant for me. I work hard and everything, and it's not like the world is congratulating you and everything.
Right.
So anything you work for, like boom, enjoy life, enjoy what you're doing, and enjoy the process. But when I have time and resources to travel and to better and to like boom to reach out for bigger opportunities, like I do it because it's like a personal thing to me. It has nothing to do with what anybody else is doing, type stuff. But I know, but that makes you stand out in a crowd of a lot of people and everything. You feel me? Because you focus on yourself.
Do you enjoy the music making process more than the reward?
It's almost like the reward. I actually enjoy the process and everything more because it's kind of just like the reward is in your mind and you're just like, man, like you make this great song in the studio. And it's that moment where like boom, like the engineer is just like, okay, like boom, and you're hopping around in the studio and you're kind of just like, man, like yeah, you know, like and like planning a video, that's always exciting. It's not easy. None of this is easy, but you have those moments where it's just like you could like use your imagination and like boom, do things the way you envision them and you plan them out, you know?
All right. So I'm ready to talk music with you. I'm ready to pick your brain about music, man. Like who are some artists that you have been listening to? What are some new records that you have been listening to? Like let me know. Like I'm trying like understand like your like more of your taste in music.
Let's see. I've been listening to I listen to like UK pop and everything. This new artist, one of my favorite songs, Spill Your Wine, like I'm trying to, you know how you hear one song, you listen to it all the time?
Right.
Be Young and everything. He's like a British artist. I listen to a whole lot of pop, a whole lot of Ellie Goulding, Drake, honestly, Justin Bieber.
Hey.
I listen to like everything for real. And like one of my biggest inspirations is like Drake, Justin Bieber, and people who like you listen to their music and they're just talking about their life and it's like pure, you know what I mean? It's like it feels like they're like just like talking and expressing themselves and not just, you know, generic.
Right. Have you? So I know I get this from my favorite rapper is J. Cole, and I know I get a feeling every time I listen to a Cole record, right? A feeling of like comfort. Like if nobody else understands, I know he understands, right? Have you ever gotten that with another artist that you've listened to?
Most Def and everything. Let's see, what song have I been listening to and everything? Dang. Like sometimes you get that from Drake and everything, certain records. It could be like an old record, like trust issues.
Right.
That's something I listen to and everything, cause like I'm like a lover boy type stuff. You know how it is. Like I don't want to be. I don't want to be sometimes, but
right. So are you waiting for Certified Lover Boy to drop? Is that?
Yeah. I'm trying to hear how that's sounding. You know.
Is that gonna be your anthem?
I don't know yet. Hopefully.
That gonna be your Lover Boy anthem?
I know. I'm not a simp though. I'm a lover boy, but not a simp.
Hold on. You making me choke on my water, man. Ooh, Eric, edit that out. Ooh, okay. But yeah. Back to your music and your music making process and what you do and what you go through. You say that producers send you different like beat packages, right?
Yeah.
Are you into producing at all?
Am I into producing? I feel like I can get into it and everything. I'm just not there in my journey yet. Okay. But when you can almost say that I kind of am, because sometimes, like, when I meet producers in person, it's almost like a vibe and everything that I would give off, and they would play like certain stuff, and they would like fiddle around with the piano, and I would like make up these melodies, and they would go based off of what I'm doing, and we would build just strictly based off that.
So so with that, right, would you ever see yourself like doing that with another artist though? Like, all right, so I'm in the studio with Drake, right? You're in the studio with Drake. You're writing this song. There's a producer in there, say 40's in there, right? You make up a melody, you 40 play it on the piano or whatever, and Drake like, oh snap, I like that. Let me record that, right? You're willing to do that?
Dang. I mean, that's a good business opportunity, honestly. Right. So maybe, but in my heart, I'm like, man, like if it came from me, it's almost like I'm selfish with it a little bit. Right. I want it for myself.
Right. Okay. So you're not into like, I'm just getting this from what you say. You're not too big of the songwriting gig, right? Like if it's not your song, you don't want to write it for somebody else.
Unless me and somebody else are on this song.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. And even if it is like a Drake, right? Because again, a great business decision, but again, it's yours. So you don't want to give it up.
Dang.
Come on now, it's Drake. It's Drake. Come on now. It's Drake.
God dang it. Like, I'm gonna get peer pressured. Like, and like Bone probably a little starstruck. So maybe, yeah.
Oh, it's okay, man. Yo gotta get the song to Drake. So, but there's a lot of people that don't understand that, right? And the more I nitpick into like music and like how much songwriters make compared to like the actual artist and stuff, I think that decision actually might be better for you. Cause say, right, you give the song to Drake, the song blows up, but you only got songwriter credits. That's trash for you because you're only making like half of a cent off that.
Yeah.
Compared to like if you do the song and that song blows up, now not only is your name out there, the song is doing amazing. You got
if Drake fuck with it, let him get on a remix or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey Drizzy, if you're watching this, bro, your name getting thrown around a lot. Come on, holla at my boy. He next up. How do you feel? I didn't tell you this, but how do you feel about being on the first episode of Next Up? How does that?
Dang, man. Like, I really appreciate it, man. It's a privilege, man. Honestly, just like, cause I'm doing this by myself type stuff. It's almost like everything that happens is kind of just like big to me,
Right.
cause it's kind of like it could have not happened, you know?
Yeah, and you're really humble. Like I was like, so when I initially DM'd you, I didn't expect you to respond that fast. You responded within like 5 minutes, and I was like, whoa, I'm expecting you, like, you probably get a whole bunch of DMs, and I always see you like reposting DMs and like showing love to like your supporters. So how much does that aspect of this, right? How much does that mean to you?
It means everything. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me like boom, like just like up on. I'm all about good energy, and like I feed off that, regardless of what I'm doing and everything. Not just the music. I just feed off good people, good energy, and I like to like show it back where it's like neutral.
Right. And are are you do you want to do like some type of like fan meetup when like all this COVID stuff is over?
Yeah. Hey, I'm with that. I'm with that. I've actually been talking to a few people in North Carolina that want me to do like a show
Mhm.
there for like their high school
Hey, that's dope.
type stuff. And I'm definitely with that because this is like a dream, bro. A lot of people want to do this. Not saying a lot of people can't. They
Right.
just like boom. It just takes work,
Mhm.
and I've been working, man. Like this takes a whole lot of mental,
Mhm.
like but it's worth it, man.
And soon enough, you're about to be in that rock star position. Soon enough, you're about to really be a rock star, right? Has that always been the goal? Has that always been the dream? Has that always been the
The rock star.
yeah?
Dang. Almost, almost. You could say that. I
Mhm.
can almost say that and everything. The rock star, like before I knew it. Honestly, you know when you used to like hear your favorite song, you kind of used to visualize you like being the singer type stuff. You like
Right. Yes.
imagine if I was if I made the song and I was him.
Till
Like
this
you can
day.
visualize the music video, all
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
To this day.
You feel
Yeah.
me?
I'm with you. We right
Hey,
here. Yep. I'm with you.
hey, I used to be like I used to walk slow in the hallway. Certain songs, I'm like,
Mhm.
dang, bro, like my
Yeah.
imagination. And
Mhm.
it was like, yo, like why you walking so slow? And I'm, like it's just and like being able to like make music. I'm planning on like shooting a video to like every song, honestly,
Mhm.
everything. But it has to be. It's going to be like
Right.
It's well planned out, and that's a process. Um, it's always been a thing that I wanted to do ever since like elementary school, all that type stuff. I
Right.
used to sing the little songs and like music class and all that. Like it's always been a thing with me.
Right. I think that's part of like the manifesting, right? Like the part of like, okay, I want like I've been singing these songs and I've been like walking around the hallway like acting like I was in music videos, acting like these were my songs, hit songs, acting like these like acting like I wrote it, right? Now
Yeah.
now what if I do write it? Okay,
Dang.
now that what if turns into okay, I am writing it. Okay, now what happens if this blows up? Then that turns into okay, it did blow up. Okay, now what happens? Now what if I get signed or something, right? Oh, I got signed. Oh my god. Like even though getting signed isn't that much of a big deal like as it was back then, but still, just keep up with me. Then like
Yeah.
then like okay, what happens next? Oh, I'm on tour. Now I'm on a world tour. Now I'm doing all these shows with these big artists and I'm out here, out there, and I'm touring everywhere and I'm doing these major songs with these major producers, right? I think that's where that just you in elementary school, just singing those songs that aren't yours and acting like you're in the music video, that's what that can lead to if you could just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're dope. I love what you're doing. I love your talent. Um, I love that you are sharing it out with the world. And speaking of world, the world had shut down in 2020, boy. I tell you, the world shut
Yeah,
completely
it was
down.
an interesting experience and
Yeah.
everything for
With
sure.
music, right? And you already put music out before 2020, so you was already kind of feeling it, already kind of like in your music bag a little bit. When 2020 hit, how did that affect you creatively and musically?
Honestly, with 2020 hit, I was in like a serious relationship. Honestly,
Mhm.
I just put that out there, and it didn't work out. So it was kind of like devastating around when the pandemic hit, and music is what picked me up from that.
Okay.
And then I shot my first video since the pandemic, and that kind of like boom got me like gave me the boost that I needed. I was like, dang. And then I got in the studio and I was just just free with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the pandemic wasn't that bad for me and
Mm-hmm.
everything. It was kind of just like it was growth. Like 2020 was like a year a growth for me, honestly, like in that aspect.
Right. Did were you in any sort of like writer's block during that time?
Not writers, but before that, because I was in a serious relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's kind of like what are you putting first type stuff. You would put
Right.
that person first, and you would give some to your music, but not as much as you wanted to. So as soon as that finished, and like I like got over that, like boom, I was ready to go because it's all about you being in a good headspace.
Mm-hmm. And is Rockstar Johnny off the market, or is he hot boy Johnny this summer? Come
Uh,
on, we need you on the team.
uh, oh man, okay.
Come on,
I
we
guess
need you on the team this summer. Come on.
I guess I'm hot boy. I'm hot
Yeah.
boy. Yes, yes sir, yes
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Hey, all these girls are like for rent card.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Hey, I like that little plug too. That was dope. I like that. I like that. Nah, man, thank you so much for coming on the Arts Block podcast and being the first episode of this Next Up series. Again, guys, if y'all have any other artists that y'all want to recommend, please DM them to me at Arts Block Podcast. I would really love y'all's recommendations and people that y'all watch and listen to or whatever. But Rockstar Johnny, you are on the Arts Block podcast, so it's only right that we do get your dead or alive. Now, ladies and gentlemen, watching the Arts Block podcast, hello, I'm your host, Eric Curry III. If this is your first time watching the Arts Block podcast, hello. If this is your last time watching the Arts Block podcast, well, goodbye. But the Arts Block podcast has this segment that we like to call Dead or Alive, and it's basically where the artist on the podcast gets to pick artists that they would like to work with that is dead or alive. You can pick one artist, you can pick 100 artists. Please don't pick 100 artists because I still have to edit this podcast. But yeah, dead or alive, it is on you. Go ahead.
Dead or alive?
Mhm.
Who would I like to work with right now? Hmm. Uh, definitely. Probably Khalid right now.
Oh, I
I've
would
been getting
love that. I would love that. I would love that. You and Khalid on the song, I would. Oh, I would love that. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I just had to get that out. I would love that, bro. That would be dope.
Yeah, man. It's possible
Hmm.
and everything. I just gotta work for it, you know.
Right. Is that it? Just Khalid?
Drake, Pop Smoke,
Ooh,
just because we have like a mutual producer and everything.
that's dope.
Yeah. Uh, hmm, Dead or alive?
Yeah, it gets hard. It gets hard.
Ellie Goulding.
Ooh.
I already mentioned that because like she got this song called Lights.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Bieber,
Hey.
like, cause I be off my like pop type stuff. I got a few pop records. I would have Justin Bieber remix Don't Know.
Hey.
I don't really know what that was. You still love,
I would like that. I would like that. Man, I feel like you can really work with anybody, to be honest. Like your style and your sound. I feel like you can work with anybody.
Thank you.
That'd be dope. But yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. But oh, are you done? Are you done?
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd. Oh, oof. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be tough. That'd be tough. I met somebody that sounded like him in Atlanta. I was like, what? Crazy.
Right.
So you might hear something close to it, a record that I might have soon for you.
Oh, I bet. Bet. All right. Thank you again for coming on to the Artsball podcast. And I know that you are a young, new, fresh artist, but there are younger and newer, fresher artists than you are. And if there is any type of advice that you can give them, right? Like you are in big bro mode right now, right? If there's any type of advice you can give, what would it be?
Believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. Don't like when people see you got something going on, they're hang around you and everything. Don't let that stop you from working and everything, you know?
Message.
And look at the people you have around you. Are they helping you? Do they have something going on for yourself? Because you're trying to stay motivated. It's almost like bad association spoils useful habits. So you want to have people around you pushing you, helping you. Like if you have a clothing designer friend, collab with them. Mm-hmm. If you have somebody that does a podcast, hop on them with them. Right. Always stay busy. Keep your friends busy. Mm-hmm. Have everybody around you just elevate.
Right. Message. Man, thank you so much for coming on to the Arts Block podcast. We really do appreciate you. Again, you are the first artist to be on Next Up, and I really do love it, and I love your music, bro. I love what you're doing, and I love everybody that's watching this episode of the Arts Block podcast. Remember, if you have any more artists to send for the Next Up series, I really want to keep this thing going. Please send them to me, DM me again at Arts Block Podcast, and if you want to DM me personally just to tell me how much you love me or the podcast, either one is fine with me. You can do that at Eric Curry III. All of Johnny's stuff will be down in the description. All his links into his music and stuff, that'll be all in the description. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a podcast. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you give me a 5-star and a review. If you're listening anywhere else, shout out to you. Oh, see them bars? Hey, let me hop on the track. Remember that artists never die. Is there anything that you want to say before we get off the podcast?
I appreciate you guys and everything for watching the podcast, and hopefully you get a chance to listen to the music. I appreciate you, Eric, for real, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.